right, F1 Sao Paulo Grand Prix review, recap, whatever you want to call it, after the race. We got a lot to go over, so we won't waste time here and we'll just jump right into the statistics that we have.
Right. So first things first, Ferrari's chairman, John Elkann, publicly criticized Charles and Lewis, saying we need drivers who focus on driving and talking less.
I didn't hear a lot from them, so I don't know what he's referencing.
I would understand, but honestly, I can't, because if they're talking a lot, they're probably just answering questions. They're both very devoted drivers, so I don't know where this is coming from. They're just driving awful cars.
Well, he's just upset because they're not winning or anything, I think. But give them a better car and they will.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then since Italy, Lando Norris has scored more than double the points of Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris with 115, Oscar Piastri with 57.
Not good.
Yeah,
very not good.
Who said it? Max Verstappen's dad. He's like, what his comment? Yeah, if you guys saw it, you know what I mean.
Yes, I know it. Where he's like, Oscar didn't just forget how to drive. Something's wrong here.
And then Kimi gets over 100 points, with the most amount of points that he has scored in one weekend following back-to-back P2 finishes. To put this into perspective, had this point system been in place in Lewis Hamilton's rookie season in 2007, he would have had 265 points.
And he finished with 109, so...
I mean, go Kimi. Kimi had a really, really great weekend. And then Ollie has the third most points for Haas with 40 points, plus these 3 races to go. Only behind Nico with 41 points last season and K-Mag with 56 points in 2018. Plus, he becomes the first Haas driver to score points 4 races in a row. Go Ollie.
Yeah.
I think he's very underestimated and he's kind of overlooked a lot of the times. Not all the time, but I feel like he is sometimes.
Yes.
And I feel like he's really proving himself here.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if a certain team in red that has to do with a horse makes a swap and we see Ollie in red next season.
I would be interested to see how that goes. And then 5 drivers to achieve 17 podiums or more in Formula One season. I have to guess who.
Really, if you get 3, I'll give you the other 2. And to be honest, you know all of them. So
Lando,
yes,
is one of them. Formula One season. Is this just this season or just like
in F1 history?
Sebastian Vettel.
Yep, that's another one.
Max Verstappen.
Yep, that's another one. Can you get the other 2?
Lewis Hamilton.
That's another one. You got one more.
I have to think. What am I missing here? I just keep wanting to say Hulkenberg, and I'm like, that's not it. Does it start with an H? Is that why I want to say it?
Like it has an H in it.
Oh. Is his son racing?
Well, kind of, yeah.
Kind of. He's a reserve driver?
Yes. Kind of.
Oh, I see. I always blank on his name, and I feel so bad. Last time he had me do this. Oh my gosh, what is his name? Oh.
Insert the flashback.
I'm literally picturing him in my mind. I can't think of his name. Oh, I keep wanting to say Hulkenberg. What? Does it start with an R? H? No, H is in it.
Yeah.
Schumacher.
Yes! Oh my goodness, Michael Schumacher. Yes.
Every time I know this man. I've seen multiple videos about this man. But when I go to say his name, I want to say Hulkenberg. And I don't know why.
Is it because they're both German?
Probably. tracker. I know you, I swear I do. I just always blank on your last name. Ugh. I know my drivers, though. It just takes a second. But anyways, let's move on to sprint qualifying. SQ1, we had Franco, Liam, Yuki, Esteban, and Carlos out. And Q2, we had Lewis, Alex, Pierre, Gabby, and Ollie out. And then Q3, we had Nico in 10th, Isaac in 9th, Charles in 8th, Lance in 7th, Max in 6th. Fernando in 5th, we had George in 4th, Oscar in 3rd, Kimmy in 2nd, and Lando in 1st. It was a great sprint qualifying.
The sprint. Oh, so much happened. So lap 1, we had a good start from the top 6, really, because Max made up a place on Fernando. Fernando lost a place. There was contact between Ollie and Liam. That resulted in Ollie spinning around. And of course, Lewis had a great start. He made up a couple places up to get to P8, which is the last point spot in the sprint. So then, lap 6, we had Oscar crash into the wall at turn 3. So people are saying this is because Lando kind of hit a little bit of the water lane within the curb to bring it back on the track. However, anyone could have done that. You didn't see Kimmy make this mistake, and he hit it right after Lando. So whoop-de-doo. Blame him if you want a scapegoat, I guess. Like, it's not his fault. But this also resulted in Nico and Franco as well hitting the wall, just a little bit closer. It was like Oscar, the furthest, then Nico, and then Franco. But this resulted in a safety car, but Nico was the only driver that was able to continue. This actually ended up turning into a red flag, which stopped the race temporarily. Brought everyone into the pits so that way they could clear all the debris and everything off the track. So then Lando and Fernando both went on to the softs, and the Mercedes duo and Max went on to the mediums, which all weekend it looked like the mediums were the tire to be on. The hard didn't look great, and the soft was like mid. So it was like just a smidge bit better than the mediums, but I was like, you want to be on the mediums, surely. So I was a little bit confused why they switched Lando off of the medium onto the softs. But it's okay, I guess. Lap 9, we had our restart. George ended up attacking Kimmy on the inside. Fernando was attacking Max as well on the inside. However, no moves were made because it was raining before the race. So the track was still a bit damp, and when you were off the racing line, you had like no traction at all. So that was unfortunate. And then a little funny moment that I have to include here, lap 14, we actually had Pierre in an Alpine radioing about the Ferraris passing Fernando, because Fernando was backing everyone up, and he was like, tell this Ferrari to get a move on, and his engineer was like, don't worry, I'll be sure to tell him.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, this is too funny to not include, so I have to include it because it's the Alpine, which is a tractor telling another tractor to get around a little bit faster of a tractor. Like, it was just too funny. But then lap 21, Kimmy ended up hunting down Lando. He brought the gap down to less than a second between the two. And then lap 22, so, 8 laps later, Charles was finally able to get past Fernando, but only because Fernando locked up and then he ran wide outside of a turn. I think that he would have held on had he not locked up and gone wide, but whatever. And then the last lap of the race, Bobby actually crashed into turn 1 after going off of the racing line. It marked it as 2 crashes because one was this way and then that skidded off. Yeah, it was not great. But the second crash was also 57 Gs, which is like crazy.
That was a rough watch. I just remember like it was crazy. You're going from like you see these top 3 winning, and then like they pan and you just see scrap metal, and then you hear over the radio Gabby going, "I'm okay," but you're like, "Are you really though? Are you really though?"
Yeah, and it was crazy because literally he was looking at his car, like cataloging what was off so that way he could tell the team. And then he went to the medical center. Well, come to find out, while they were doing like post-race interviews or something, he ran no, they were doing the post-race show. He ran back to the garage and everyone was like cheering for him. Like within
Yeah,
like 30 minutes or something. Like it was crazy.
dude was able to walk it off. He was like, "Yeah, it's just a roller coaster," but it was just
Yeah.
crazy because he was mere seconds away from one of the visas running right into him.
No, that was
And was it?
yeah, he almost hit a Williams as well, yeah,
Yeah.
because of the way
Hold
that
on.
the
I have to
crash
watch
was
it too.
angled. Oh,
You're just like that could have been worse.
that
Like
could
you
have
would
been
have had
way
two. That
worse,
would have been
yeah.
because you would have had if one of the cars hit him, that would have inserted a crash. There was 2 cars behind them as well, and oh, that would
Right.
have just been such a bad pile up.
Yeah.
That was that was crazy. Seeing everyone's reactions to it too. I was just like, I was like, I don't know how to celebrate because this man literally just got pummeled.
Yeah, and, like, the broadcast didn't do a good job of showing this,
Mm-mm.
but he actually, like, went airborne for a couple seconds,
Yeah,
and I was like,
because he went up like because they have like the ramp kind of
yeah,
style track.
based on because they redid the circuit
Yeah.
in that particular area, and so it's like this rather than
Mhm.
like this.
Yeah.
So he went, yeah, I was like, oh,
I was telling my dad about that. And he was like, "How is he like okay?" I was like, "I have no idea, like none
I
whatsoever." The
know.
halo, I don't know
The whole thing.
the whole thing.
Yes, but our results, so first we had Lando, of course, taking the win, Kimi in second, George in third, Max in fourth, Charles in fifth, Fernando in sixth, Lewis in seventh, and Pierre with the last point spot in eighth. Ninth, we have Lance. 10th, we have Isaac. 11th, we have Esteban. 12th, we have Ollie. 13th, Yuki. 14th, Carlos. 15th, Nico. 16th, Liam. 17th, Alex. And 18th, Gabby. It's sad that they technically gave him 18th, even though he really DNF. But that's fine.
Hey,
But then our actual DNFs, as we mentioned before, are Oscar and Franco after their crash in lap 3. Oh, not lap 3, lap 6, turn 3. Sorry, I'm
I was like 3 sounds right, but I
getting them a little bit.
it makes
Because of the race. I'm already jumping ahead to the race. That's where I'm at.
but now to qualifying for the race, it was it was good, and then like the last the last quarter, everyone was like, "Oh no!" But the first quarter we have Max, Esteban, Franco, Yuki, and Gabby out. Max was a shocker. Everyone was shocked. I just remember seeing everyone's reactions and just sitting there being like, "Oh my god." Max Verstappen out in Q1 is a new one. Like usually if that were to happen, it would be like because like a wreck or something, but like this was just the car was not doing it.
Right, and even then, this is the first time in his career that he's been eliminated in Q1 based on pure pace. Like, that's crazy. Every other time that he's got eliminated in Q1 has been because of some
Car,
technical,
yeah,
like, car malfunction type thing. Yeah.
insane. You know he was mad. And then we have Q2. We had Fernando, Alex, Lewis, Lance, and Carlos out. And then Q3, in 10th, we have Nico Hulkenberg. We have in 9th, Pierre Gasly. In 8th, we have Ollie. We have Liam in 7th, George in 6th, Isaac in 5th. We have Oscar in 4th, Charles in 3rd, Kimmy in 2nd again, and then we have Lando on pole. It was a great weekend for Lando and Kimmy.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
that's great.
So after that nervous breakdown that we had of whether Kimmy's gonna beat Lando with his qualifying lap time or not, I feel like the disappointing thing from qualifying is Ollie in P8. Because, you know, throughout Q1 and Q2, it could have looked like Ollie could have been on pole had Lando not been there. And, you know, his Q2 lap was better than his Q3 lap. His Q2 lap would have put him in 3rd.
Yeah.
So, it was just unfortunate.
I just remember watching and being like, okay, so we're starting this last couple laps. And you have Lando in the bottom currently because he hasn't gotten a good lap in just yet. And you're watching Kimmy's kind of in the middle too. He's kind of getting good laps. But Ollie was in the top for a good minute. And I was like, are we about to have an Ollie podium? And then it was just like you see Lando go to the front. I'm like, oh, I was expecting that. And then literally at the last second, you see Kimmy making one of the best laps. And you're like, oh no. Oh no. And then Kimmy in 2nd. But I was still like, what? Like, this is Kimmy. I don't know. Kimmy was having a great weekend.
I know. Well, it was because that one, what material is it? Isn't banned to eat there. And he historically does well in countries where it's not banned. But he's gonna prove that wrong because next week he's gonna do well, not next week, in 2 weeks in Vegas he's gonna do well. So, you know how that'd be.
Ways to the race.
Yes, we got lap 1, a good start from Lando and the rest of the top qualifying spots. So, Max actually started from the pit lane. He wasn't the only one that started from the pit lane, but I'm blanking who else started from the pit lane, so you're just
Gabby start from the pit lane?
No, it wasn't Gabby. Gabby was... No, Gabby was on the grid.
I wasn't able to watch the start of the race.
No, Gabby was on the grid. I can't think of who.
Was it a Ferrari?
No, I think it might have been Carlos.
I was gonna say, is it Carlos?
I can't remember though. Someone else started in the pit lane. But, you know, Gabby crashed after contact with Lance Stroll in turn 10. This resulted in a safety car, and Lewis ended up with his front wing under his car, damaging the floor when trying to pass Franco in the Alpine on the main straight. So that was great. But we ended up with a safety car, resulting in the contact from Stroll and Gabby. But Ollie was also able to make up a spot and pass Pierre on the main straight. So then lap 5, we got a safety car restart, right? So we're 3 cars wide again into turn 1. And I'm just absolutely panicking because, you know, Lando's fine, he's in front, but you just never know. And I see the 3 cars and I'm like, no, this can't be happening. This cannot be happening right now. And I knew Oscar was gonna go for it because that's what he did the other time with the Coda sprint. And I was like, give me flashbacks to that right now. Like, I can't do this. And lo and behold, what happens? God bless that Lando is able to stay on track, but Charles, not so much. Charles, out on the width, minding his own business, gets hit after, like, okay, so Oscar has the very inside, Charles is on the outside, Kimmy's in the middle. So he has to, people are like, it's a racing incident. I personally didn't see that way. You can call me biased. I don't care. I'm telling you, that was not a racing incident because we saw that in Coda. And he still went for it. So I'm like, I can't just like let it go and say it's a racing incident. Yes, we can put a little bit of blame on Kimmy for not necessarily giving him giving Oscar enough space, but I think they would have touched anyways. If I'm being honest. I just don't, even if Kimi hadn't turned in, I think that they would have touched. So, come for me if you want in the comments. But this resulted in Charles losing his front left tire. He actually ended up having to retire from the Grand Prix, and there was also a flat spot on Oscar's tire because he locked up going into that turn. And now they didn't announce this right away. It took the stewards quite a bit to sort this out, like at least 10 minutes. But they did give Oscar a 10-second penalty. So I would just like your thoughts on the 10-second penalty. Do you think it was warranted?
I didn't see the situation happen because I was driving. But and I don't want to say this just because like I don't know. I don't not like Oscar. I like Oscar. I like all the drivers. So I don't know through the situation if he actually deserved it or not. I just know he wrecked into Charles, and that there was, if that was even what I was correct on, I'd have to look back at your text messages. I just remember when I was finally watching it, I did see the 10-second penalty get rewarded to him. I don't know if he deserved it or not because I didn't see it happen.
Well, I think you might have to pull that up on your phone and watch it. Live reaction.
It's only an 8-minute highlight.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
Oh, Stroll just like, oh, was it? Dang, it was not Gabby's week.
Yeah, it's really sad.
So Stroll basically had him riding the line, which caused him to touch the barrier and yeah, Stroll pushed me out. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Dang, the Ferraris didn't have a good weekend either. Yeah, I missed Lewis Hamilton's incident. Don't need a commercial. Get the momentum. Find your apex.
Oh, find my apex.
Oh, it's the Las Vegas Grand Prix. That's crazy. He's still going. Okay, you have Oscar, Antonelli, and Charles. Okay, so Oscar decides to push. Oh, I don't feel like that was one of his best moves. I feel like that was a very not great move. Yeah, I don't like that. Do I think he? Yeah. Okay. That was crazy. That was not necessary. I think he was being a bit aggressive for no reason, and that caused.
Yeah, it's because he's always fixated on Lando. He doesn't care about anybody else. He just wants to beat Lando. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it was aggressive, and he probably, he earned that 10-second penalty. I do. 10 seconds is a lot, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there.
After they gave Yuki 10 seconds for his for his contact with Lance, of course they're gonna give that 10 seconds.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot they did that.
That's what we're getting to next. Like I said, Yuki actually touched like tire to tire with Lance. That resulted in a 10-second penalty for Yuki. That low-key ruined his race, but that's okay. Are you okay? Are you thinking that it's Gabby again?
No, I'm just like, why a 10-second penalty for them slightly touching?
Because it was more about the aggression of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, right. Because it wasn't in a natural, like, overtaking spot on the track either. Then we have lap 7 where Max actually had to pit to get new tires because He actually had a puncture, according to him and all his media that he did after the race, and he went from a hard tire onto the mediums. Lap 9, we had the virtual safety car end. Lap 12, George was able to pass Isaac for whatever place that was at that point. Lap 13, Ollie was able to pass Liam, and then literally a couple seconds later, Max passed Lewis. Lap 34, we had Nico finally passing Alex. They had been battling, well, Nico had been stuck behind that Williams for laps and laps and laps, and I was like, man, if you can just get this move, you'll get the clean air, and then you'll be set. So he finally was able to pass Alex lap 34 for P6, and then lap 39, Oscar served his 10-second penalty, and he crucially came out behind Max. I wasn't so sure about the timing, but Oscar couldn't get anything going for him today, like during the race either, so he couldn't really make a gap or anything. He was just kind of there, you know. And then lap 49, Ollie passed Nico for P7. Lap 55, Max pitted again, which it shocked everyone because everyone thought that he would just stay out and go because he was on the mediums and they looked like the better tire to be on, but Red Bull pitted him and put him on softs. Yeah, it really did look like he was fine to continue the rest of the race, but guess Red Bull thought otherwise. He was also able to pass Liam for P5 this lap as well. And then, ironically, lap 63, get it, foreshadowing, because Max was able to pass George for P3. Huh. Because George is 63, get it? Huh. Anyway, sorry, that was really bad. And then lap 67 to the end, Max tried his best to off-put Kimi, get Kimi off of the racing line, but he held strong to finish second. And, oh my gosh, that was so nerve-wracking. I mean, like at that point, Lando had checked out. He had a gap.
Yeah.
Had less than like half a second to Max. And I was just panicking the entire time. I was like, no, please.
I was walking around. My sister wanted to go to the store, and I'm like, I could care less right now. I'm focused on this. And I was walking around, like, I was on the phone, and then finally I knew, like, we were at the end, and I'm literally sitting there while she's looking for a makeup brush, and I'm like, oh my god, come on, Kimmy, keep it together. I'm like, I don't care if anyone hears me right now. I need Kimmy to keep it together, keep pushing, because Max is literally right behind you. And all I could think about was that meme of the little car, with like the train or something. And I was like, that's probably how Kimmy feels right now. He has this like world champion behind him, and he's like, oh my god, keep it together. I was like, you got this, Kimmy.
This was our podium, and then Oscar was unable to overtake George as well. So the result of the race, we had Lando in first, Kimi in second, Max in third, George in fourth, Oscar in fifth, Ollie in sixth, Liam and Isaac in 7th and 8th, Nico in 9th, and Pierre in the Alpine, scoring a point. But then 11th we had Alex, 12th Esteban, 13th Carlos, 14th Fernando, 15th Franco, 16th Lance, and last is Yuki. But Red Bull did give Yuki a 1.95 second pit stop.
Hey.
So there's that. But our DNFs were Gabby and both of the Ferraris. I know we didn't really include it in here, but they just told Lewis to box because of the damage from the front wing going under his car and damaging the floor. So thanks, Alpine. Anyways, I'll let Julie do the next thing.
Great. So we have the driver standings currently. We have Isaac in 10th with 43 points. We have Nico in 9th with 43 points. We have Alex in 8th with 73 points. We have Kimmy in 7th with 122 points. We have Lewis in 6th with 148. Charles in 5th with 214. We have George in 4th with 276. And then our championship update. Okay, we have Max still in third with 341 points. We have Oscar in second with 366. And we have Lando with 390 points. Guys, we've got a good gap now. It's not just 1 point.
But we're still not.
Wrecking.
We're still not safe yet.
And let's just talk about that.
Right. So we did go on to film this video. However, the video is currently 30 minutes. And I don't want to make you guys watch a 45-minute video. Therefore, we are breaking this video up into 2 parts. So this is the first part, and then the second part, we're going to run through the scenarios. This will be out on Friday or Saturday, so that way you guys can get our reactions and see the different scenarios that the championship currently has. This was actually Julie's idea, but she doesn't edit the F1 videos. I do. So therefore, that's why she's not here right now. But I decided on breaking it up because I'm not making you guys watch a 45-minute video. So therefore, please like this video, subscribe, turn on our post notifications, especially so you get the part 2 of this video, because you're not going to want to miss it. Get our reactions to the championship scenarios here. And as usual, we do have our other social media accounts linked in the description to this video, so feel free to check any of those out. We do also have Spotify. We just uploaded our main episode, so you can feel free to go check that out on Spotify again. And I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.